Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the 1000 Screaming Goats podcast. My name is Thomas, and I am joined today with my doomed dudes, Pete and Derek.
Sounds so punky.
Why are we so doomed?
Well, Derek, why don't you tell us?
Okay. I figured it'd be a fun little topic. I realize it would be a little bit controversial now that I think about it. But
Fun or morbid?
Yes, and both. If we talked about how we would react to apocalypse, because we all like zombie games and shit. But what would you really fucking do?
Well, I guess it depends. Okay, what kind of zombies are we talking about? What are we dealing with? Are we talking about like Left 4 Dead zombies, not zombies? Are we talking about George Romero zombies?
Because
what are we working with?
We'll start with zombies specifically first, because I feel like here's the real situation: is whatever is being dealt with is. Yeah, exactly what you're saying is, are there runner zombies? Are there multiple types? Is there a Resident Evil zombie? Like, is there going to be some Nemesis shit? Like, what is...
Is there a liquor? So I want to
Yeah, exactly. No, I would run I'm game. That's the part of the zombie movie I kill myself. Like, fuck that shit. I don't even know. If I see that there's, like, dozens of liquors around the world, nah. I wouldn't even try. That you can't even... I mean, unless I'm, like, a total badass with a machete...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That is one of my initial answers, actually. Like, zombie apocalypse coming up, and there's no cure in sight. All right, I got a solution. The final solution.
Like,
Jesus
I'm good.
Christ.
Fucking just called it. I mean, like, honestly, I think it's really funny because whenever me and Hannah watch a horror movie, it's like always something really stupid, but it's actually quite comical. And she'll be like, "That's a part of the horror movie. I'd kill myself." If we're watching something like terrible and it's people are already offing themselves, she's like, "Yep, I would already be out when you see the big ass fucking monster in the window." You're like, "No, we're all fucked.
Okay,
we're fucked. You're fucked."
Have the two of you seen Walking Dead?
I saw the first season and a half.
Okay, that might be enough.
Read a good chunk of it. Didn't finish. Tried to start watching the show. Wasn't super into it. Obviously, because unfortunately, a lot of the things that I do is I'm a fucking nerd and have the initial source knowledge. It's like
so you nitpick.
It's like Ready Player One. Yeah, the movie is assholes compared to the book, but I mean, same with if you want to talk about The Hobbit. Okay.
Anyways, well, you might have gotten as far as I need you to. I don't remember what
but
point.
I've also played some of the whatever.
Telltale.
Game. Yeah,
it's a good game. I don't know how far you got, but there's a certain point where like they're trying to find a cure. It's really early on. I think it's still part of season 1 where they go to like a lab or something, and like the scientist is working on a cure, and it's like, aha, I got it, or he's like, no, I don't got it. But in the end, like his whole plan is to like just blow up the lab and kill everyone inside because it's hopeless. And so half of the group or a part of the group decides to stay because they're like, yeah, it's hopeless.
Yeah,
and I remember watching that and be like, yeah, I'd be a part of that crew.
Like my hand would be raised, sir.
Yeah, no, I'd be in the group that blows up.
Oh my fucking god. I mean, wait, Ed, what do you think about this?
Okay. I've got most of it planned already.
For a specific zombie apocalypse? Let's establish, let's D&D this shit. Let's establish a world scenario.
Okay.
Like, are we doing Shaun of the Dead? Like, you could easily blend in if you're just kind of a dunce.
No, let's... Oh, man. Let's...
Because, I'm always, like, a Left 4
Well, those
Dead,
are, like, the same...
like,
those are pretty much the same as Walking Dead, I think.
Yeah,
I think,
the basic.
Yeah.
I just think about
slow
that.
moving.
That's my reference.
We would all be screwed if it's World War Z zombies. Screwed.
I can't. Yeah, that is true. I can't really deal with like the giant mass horde pile up of ant zombies. I mean,
why don't we stick with like classic zombies or like Walking Dead zombies? Because I feel like those are the most common.
Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, George Romero.
Classic. Yeah. Okay, I'm into that. Okay, continue, Ed. I feel like we just have pieces there.
All right, now, how much of your family do you have left? Do you have a wife and kids, or is it just you?
Literally just happened.
Oh man.
Literally
Like
just
we'll do a
happened.
just happened and then like a 5 years in.
Well, 5 years in, you're fine.
That's not fair. I'm the only one with kids.
No. That's just we're already raging. Okay, I shouldn't say 5 years. Maybe like at the peak of the hypeness of the spread. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would be any typical high peak of any movie or game or whatever the sort? You know what I'm saying?
I will say, I live near the water, and my first thoughts, even before playing Walking Dead, was if we got into if there was an apocalypse like this, is I'd get on a boat, even though I know nothing about boats. But that's where I'd head.
Dude, honestly, it's very easy to drive a boat. It's much easier than you think it would be to drive a boat.
Well, there you go. The both of y'all are screwed because I live near water. So
Yeah, no, I'm landlocked like a motherfucker. I'm fucked. Honestly.
well, that's plan A
I
for
mean,
me.
you think you're fucked? You could go up to the mountains and be somewhat fine.
Yes and no.
I am
It's
living on
about
pretty
where I
much
am currently.
flat ground. I am in as flat as you can get Kansas.
I mean, yeah, but like you have area, you have greenery, you have
Yeah,
space.
you have large
I'm
spans
like
of
down-
land.
Yeah, I'm like basically downtown. Like I'm
Yeah, and I'm in suburbia.
yeah. Either or, we're both. Yeah. I mean, okay, wait. So Ed, what is your peak plan over here? I heard you getting all
right.
all excited.
Yeah, I got a
ready for
plan for
this.
you guys.
I don't.
Okay,
like this.
so,
I really is this gonna
plan
be a
number
paranormal
one.
episode again?
Thomas thinks he's the hero, but he's gonna be the villain.
I hate this conversation.
So the best
Why
way
did
to
I
survive
start
the
this?
zombie apocalypse in
I
general
just died.
is to be on a constant, like, you have to make everybody think that you're friendly and that you're useful, even when you're
Why are you
that
being
you're
a
for the
conceited
team.
asshole in the zombie apocalypse already?
That's how you fucking survive. Nobody expects it. So here's a
I'd rather die a
here's the
nice
thing,
guy
right?
than live a douchebag.
But here's the thing, right? So this is the first thing you're going to want to do. If we're talking it just happened, you bunker down for at least 3 weeks, especially if you have the supplies. The first thing you do
Wow,
is you
I had really thought about
you-
this. I didn't even expect
Yes.
this. I don't know why I didn't expect
first thing
this.
you do is you lock up, you board
People
up.
that I
You don't want to
unleash.
be on the first floor. You want to be on the second floor.
Yeah, that's
Break-
that's basic knowledge. You have
Yes.
your
Break the stairs.
Get off the ground floor. That's immediate
Yeah.
thing.
Immediately,
Push
you're going to
yourself
clog
back.
all of your sinks. You're going to clog all of your sinks.
Giggity.
You're going to fill it up with water, even including your bathtub. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to make sure your bathtub and everything else is clean. That way you always have drinking water.
Oh, I was like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food-wise, you can go at least 2 weeks without food. But so ration what you have at your house. You know, ration it. Because you're going to be bunkered down for at least 3 freaking
this is just
weeks.
Ed's Zombie 101.
Yeah. Once you get to past that 3 weeks, then it's time to scavenge and everything else. So during that 3 weeks, you're going to want to do some research while the internet is still alive and active.
What makes you think the power grid, power wouldn't have been lost by then?
You really think power would be lost on the first day, at least?
Well, you said 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. During that 3 weeks, you're going to want to do your research and learn how to craft these things I'm about to say.
You mean you don't already know?
I don't, because it would put me on a no-fly list.
Jesus.
What are you saying?
You're gonna want to
What
learn.
did I unleash upon the world?
You're going to want to learn how to create explosives.
Why?
Because the next step,
I shouldn't have even asked that. Why did
I mean,
ask
it's an apocalypse, so I mean,
Yeah. I guess you're not wrong. You want to.
so you're gonna.
I think of like general utilized tools in. Yeah.
You're thinking
Derek's like,
baseball
this
bats,
conversation
and I'm
went to a
thinking
scary place.
explosives.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm saying that is you're going to be able to create explosive bow and arrows, or explosive
Okay,
arrows.
You're gonna.
That's extensive.
That's a little extensive, Thomas.
Well, what I'm trying to say is you can
that's
create
like high
explosives that
hopes.
when you go... Well, let me finish.
Okay.
Because what you're going to want to do... What is the one thing that people are not going to go and get when all this is going on? They're not going to grab something they don't know how to use, like a bow.
Yeah, but if you don't know how to fucking use a bow, guy.
That's why you go and you get the bow. You learn how to practice during while you're
Do you have a bow in your
scavenging and
house?
stuff.
Why don't you just start practicing now? So then technically you already know how to do it.
I mean, that is a thing you can
mean-
do, but you can never expect... Let's say it happened, like, tonight. I don't have a bow.
See, my thing is, I do have to say, in general, I do have like a bayonet and shit like that in my house, but that's like made me sound so redneck.
Did it come from the
But,
Civil
like,
War era?
Yeah.
You Yankee?
Literally, it's my dad's bayonet. Like, that's like the only. I don't even have it. I have that and like a. God, I can't remember what it's called. Sai. It's like fucking Leonardo from fucking Ninja Turtles has one. I just have one.
A katana? Wait.
You mean Raph?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh man, what is his weapon called? I'm trying to remember.
It's just like the three.
It's
Yeah.
called a Sai.
pronged- Yeah.
It is a
okay,
Sai,
so-
right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing that Electra uses.
Secretly, okay. Can I just say, I'm not gonna lie. Even growing up, I secretly always was just like, okay, there's a bunch of Ninja Turtles. I understand, but I'm not gonna decipher them. I was too into Power Rangers.
I
fair
never got
enough.
into Ninja Turtles.
That's
So-
what I'm saying. I know that they have names, and I know that I don't care very much. No offense. I should edit that out. Somebody's gonna hate me.
No, it's fine.
Keep
To
it
each
in.
their own, you know.
You gotta be authentic, man.
Okay, we
So
gotta
I've
continue.
got more to do with those explosives.
Okay, yes.
So you're
gonna
gonna
wanna
learn how to
create-
create explosives in those 3 weeks without blowing your own arm off. Or
I mean,
your
honestly,
own
I'm
head
not gonna
off.
lie. So it depends on the level of explosives, because like
Tannerite.
like, what did you say? Anarite?
Tannerite.
What the fuck does that mean?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm talking just basic explosives for distractions that you could throw to create distractions that would.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, are you trying to just make like firecracker things? Like, are you trying to make like
Yeah.
like?
There's that, but
my
I
thing
mean,
is like, because I would want to be able to actually make explosives for like opening
C4 and
ways
stuff?
is-
Yes.
Which understandable.
That's actually where I was gonna go with it, and then I was like, well, Pete was like, "You're gonna blow your arm off," and then my brain was like,
You'll shoot your eye out.
"Yeah, he's right." Here's the thing, right?
Holes.
If
man.
you're able to-
holes, Ed. There's holes. There's holes.
If
in
you're
the fence
able
now.
to find the Anarchist cookbook, it'll explain how to make all these things.
you just say find.
Fine.
I understand. That's I also.
Google is your friend.
Great movie, by the way. I'll go to cookbook.
So, like, what I want to do is what my plan is to create explosives that I can control from a distance with a, detonator. That way, if I'm like, okay, cool, I've got 5 cars rigged in different parts of the town, ready to go, all I have to do is click a button, and that one in that particular part of the town will explode. If I want to go and scavenge in
See, but,
a
like,
particular
that really
area,
is- but that's even
I just
like
thought of something.
hyper-planning, though.
Thomas, you have a hard time understanding a computer. I don't know if I can see you
See,
understanding
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
electrical
a lot of
engineering.
work. That's a lot
hold
of
up,
things.
hold up,
No
I'm not
offense.
done. There's a reason for
You
it.
honestly, you shouldn't be done because that's a lot.
There's a reason for it.
Okay.
So let's
wait.
say in the northeast part of the town, I have a freaking car, but I'm going to search the northwest or the
You
midwest
just said
part
that
of
you're
it.
not in a town. Ed.
What?
Plot.
No, I'm saying after the 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
After your
so we're-
3-week
we're
thing, you're
standard-
gonna go
we're standard-
scavenging.
We're standard. This is post 3 weeks.
This is post 3 weeks at this point.
Okay.
So that's when you go and you rig the cars up with the explosives
But
as
that's
you're
what I'm saying.
scavenging.
I feel like the question is, how are you surviving until then? Because you're saying like zombie apocalypse
water
happened,
that-
and then you like teach yourself 8 skills.
No, during the water, like I've got water because I like I said, I've clogged up. I did all this stuff, so I have water.
You think your bathtub is gonna keep potable water for those 3 weeks?
Yeah, and honestly, especially city water, that shit is not good to drink, really. Like, I would need to.
No, but you can boil it.
Something. Yeah, but that shit. Yeah, you're not wrong. But that shit's assholes. That's a lot of work. That's just me being lazy. That just sounded like me being lazy. The zombie.
That's just us finding holes in your plan that maybe aren't holes.
True. Yeah, that's just.
Why are you trying to plot holes when you guys might not even have a good enough plan as I have?
Anything can happen.
So
we're just being thorough.
As I was going to say with the explosive cars, I'm trying to go southeast. Not southeast, southwest, let's say, is where I'm going to scavenge. I don't want any zombies over there, so I'll blow up a car in the northeast. All the zombies and stuff will be attracted to sound. Zombies will go over there. Other people will also go over there trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. I could scavenge in peace.
Okay.
Or let's say, holy shit, I got a ton of fucking zombies after me. Let's blow up this car that I know where it is as I'm running past it.
Derek, let's stop interrupting him and let's just get his story.
Okay.
we can make fun of him later.
I'm like, but what do you mean rig? Excuse me.
So that's how you survive the zombie apocalypse. You get, you rig up explosives, you scavenge, you create distractions in opposite areas of the town that you are not, to create attraction to the zombies to that area away from you. That way, the only thing you have to worry about is other people.
I mean,
you
I feel like that's like
they're predictable.
I do have to say that is like Walking Dead 101 though. That is very like I understand like the be a bit of a douchebag, like, you know what I'm saying, you got to be aggressive with like other people, but like if you have like your homie group, you know what I'm saying, you, like, can't be conniving with the people that are gonna maybe save your ass.
Well, I guess Thomas,
Right.
the question is how do you deal with other people? How do you deal with other groups?
How do you mean?
Like, how friendly are you?
Yeah,
Are you on your own? Is Lindsay with you?
Well, Linz would be with me, yeah.
Okay. So after
She's a
those
great
3 weeks,
shot.
like,
Why would she not be? I mean, I know sadly we would have to probably cook up our guinea pigs. And we have a dog that will have Hey, people
Okay.
it is a Brazilian thing. They eat guinea pigs.
Okay, no, you're not wrong. I'm not judging. I was just like,
It's
that
a
was just like
survival
no
thing.
hesitation. You were like, like you've been waiting. You've been waiting for the day you can cook these motherfuckers up. You're like, they squeak too much. Like you've been ready for this moment to be like, yo.
You can
when
hear them in the
apocalypse
background,
come,
probably.
Just immediately, just like apocalypse on the news, and you just hear sizzling in the background. You're like, what, honey? What'd you say? I'm ready. I'm fucking ready.
okay. So, and I'm sorry, Thomas. Okay, so once the 3 weeks pass, where are you going?
Well, you just kind of stay where you know. You don't want to venture too far out because you don't
at
Yes
what
and no.
point does like your local area start running out of supplies where you have to venture out?
Well, that depends on where you are.
Okay, well, you're at home, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Like it happens
I'm
in the
saying
next
in
10
general.
minutes.
Okay, where I am.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Okay, where I am, the first thing I would do, like my area, would be to drive over to Kansas City, Missouri.
After
there's
the 3 weeks.
After the 3 weeks.
Do you still have a car?
Because
How do you know someone didn't siphon the gas out of your car?
At that point, too, like already, like okay, we're just being
it's an electric car.
Sorry, I know, we keep just-
because like my thing too is like, and this is an unfortunate actual future thing, is like look at this is the most stupidest, most profound statement I can say in this world right now is a McDouble is almost $3.
I love McDonald's.
Well, because
Yes.
everything else is already like out of production. Like we went to a little like bohemian place, and like usually they have coconuts for like rum drinks, and Hannah loves that shit because she'll just sit there with her like straw and just like eat the inside of the coconut. But they don't have coconuts anymore. Same thing with like gas pricing has been the highest it's ever been. Like right now too, would we even be in a society where cars are even viable at this point? Like,
Well, I think
you know what
so
I'm saying?
because I mean he said in the next like 10 minutes that the apocalypse happens, so it's not like it's that far into the
okay,
future.
okay. But I mean,
So-
like, well, it's more of a point of like how limited is gas going to be as a service and providable, like, use. You can't just like siphon.
No,
from
that's
a
what,
pump,
that's
like
that's where
bigger
my
tanks
question came
come
in. Like, hey, Thomas, what's your gas tank at right now?
Yeah, because like even like
Oh, my
even,
gas
like,
tank is full
even-
right now.
Well, because even gas stations, like I've worked at that gas station for a few years. You still have to have your like a gas company come in and fill the tanks. Like it's not just like
true.
a
Well,
limited,
I mean,
unlimited supply.
The car is ultimately like just an ends to like to get you far, and then once it's done, you're on foot from there on. Like it is a finite resource to get you
Right.
somewhere, and that's it. And from then on, you are back to on foot until you can scavenge another method of transportation.
Okay, but let's all be real though. Are you a person that like never fucking fills the tank?
Yes, I am that person.
See, because I have been
Which is why I asked Thomas right now, what's
Yeah,
his tank currently?
yeah.
But again,
full.
let's let him do his
Yeah,
thing.
but now
The other
no,
issue
I
with
need to
my car
intrude. Wait.
that is different.
Because if we keep on intruding, we're never gonna get to our plans. So then, you know what? Fair enough. Because I don't really have a plan. You guys heard my plan.
Yeah,
I
no,
blow
honestly,
up
that's kind of how I feel too.
I blow up in the lab. So you know what, Thomas, you keep going, and we're just gonna shit on you the entire time.
Good.
We can
So-
continue. Yeah.
Please.
So my car is a hybrid, Pete, and it is fully
Oh,
gassed
a
up.
hybrid.
He had to tell
Oh,
everybody
can you
that
smell
he
your
is a
farts
hybrid.
too?
I didn't even
Yeah,
know if
I
you have
can,
a hybrid.
but-
I actually did, but I'm so sad.
What I was trying to get at is I can charge a battery while I am driving to
Yeah,
make
not
my
perpetually.
car
Perpetually.
go further.
have a little
Not
bike
perpetually.
Unit. Have a little bike unit
Yes,
in the passenger
perpetually.
seat. Linz can just be sitting there, just riding the bike as
Thomas,
he's driving.
there is no way a hybrid car will never need gas.
Truth.
You will eventually need gas.
I'm not saying right eventually, but at that point I can
A
siphon
possible
gas.
alternative, I guess he's trying to say.
Do you know how to siphon gas?
Better
Yes.
sucking that hose, Ed.
Do you have a hose
Exactly.
that you
know,
can
sucking
siphon gas
that
with?
hose.
Yes.
You ever suck it? You ever sucking it?
Listen, I don't
Ed,
believe you.
Ed, you ever sucking a hose?
You suck more than a hose.
No.
Sucking on hose. Okay, I'm done here. Mic drop. I'm out. I'm gonna start my own podcast.
you trying?
All right. Back to the apocalypse. Back to the apocalypse.
Okay, any other questions you'd like to ask?
I don't know. I don't
about
even
my
know
plan?
where we just keep intruding. this is
So
fun. I enjoy this.
transportation is fine.
Well, hold on. Okay. All right. Let's go back to my objection with this. Okay. So you've been in your house for 3 weeks. I know where you live.
Yes.
You don't have a garage. What's to stop someone from siphoning the gas from your car while you're in hiding?
Yeah, truth.
I also have electric power on my car.
Okay.
Oh, I see. That's where the
What's to stop someone from
Yeah.
stealing your car?
It's locked, and you need the key in order to drive it. It will
Yeah,
not even let you do anything.
I mean, I hate to say it, but meth heads in Denver, homeless people have broken in my car multiple times, and yeah, it's not that hard.
Will
Are
your
you
car
talking about hot wiring?
and would your car start with absolutely no gas, just running on pure battery?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good question.
Also, you haven't turned your car on in 3 weeks. Will the battery still be alive? Batteries drain over time, especially if they're not in use.
I can turn my car on with my keys and immediately turn it off.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you got this all figured out then, huh?
Okay. Yeah. I didn't
Yes,
expect this. All right,
I've
all right,
thought
all right.
about
Continue.
this
All right,
quite
continue.
Touche. Continue.
Yeah, okay.
Continue.
I don't know where to go from here. At that point,
know.
like
Okay.
most
it's been
of the
3
population
weeks.
is zombies.
It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You have your car. Where do you go? And
Yeah, because you said
hey,
you're trying
actually,
to move around,
no,
but then you
I have
also
to
said that
interrupt
you're
you again
trying
because you don't have food to last you 3 weeks in the next 10 minutes. So how do you
Yeah, I do.
scavenge? No, you don't.
Yeah, you haven't been in my house since like what 3 weeks ago?
I mean, realistically, like none of us have more food in our house to last us more than a few days. To be completely honest with you.
But here's the best part, right? Rationing.
God damn it, Ed.
Okay.
What are you gonna say?
Rationing.
Let's okay. No.
And-
all right. At this point, I just want to move past the 3 weeks. I am sorry. I realize I am the problem, not you, Thomas. It is I and Derek. You are not the problem. We are the problem. Please continue. We are idiots and we are derailing your story.
That's fun.
I kind of like it when you derail my story because then I can defend my stance.
Okay, then we will
Okay,
continue,
wait,
but
yeah,
I want you to at least get past this part.
Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely gonna have to edit a few things.
Okay, so the reason why you want to hunker down for 3 weeks, Pete,
Honker.
is because if you bunker down for 3 weeks and you survive that 3 weeks without a zombie breaking down your door, which you should have barricaded heavily, then 90% of the population at that point, well, okay, one of two things will happen. A, 80 to 90% of the population will be infected, or B, the military will have killed all of the infected. So, at that point, if A happens, which means 80 to 90% of the population is infected, you really only have to worry about the remaining 10%.
Yeah, but
As long as you can... Exactly.
Wait, say it again, Tom.
But that's how you lay down low. You only have to worry about the remaining 10% of the population.
Why is there only 10% of the population?
Because the way that most zombie infections usually work, within 3 weeks, 80 to 90% of the population are infected. So you only have 10 to 20% of the population that you have to worry about.
What about the walkers? What about the zombies themselves?
Those are easy. You distract them.
You say easy.
You can-
I mean,
have you seen
there's
The Walking Dead?
strength in
People
numbers.
Died to being dumbasses.
Right. But don't be a dumbass. Pay attention to your
there's
surroundings
strength in
at all
numbers.
times. What are you trying... Are you saying the more zombies there are?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much to get overrun, right?
Right, but here's the... Okay, so remember the first season of The Walking Dead, they cut up a zombie, they smell dead,
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't
yeah,
eat.
sure. Assume we're
Boom,
playing
there
by
you
that
fucking
rule.
go.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the catchphrase of the show, right? Fear the living, avoid the dead, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You're fine. You just have to worry about... You only have to worry about the remaining 10 to 20% of the population.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so what's your plan? You're in your car. Where are you driving to?
Well, I would stay in the city until all of the resources are depleted.
Yeah, but we're saying post that because we're on the whole car rant.
So okay, all right. So we're thinking about a year. Okay. Mind you, at this point, you're also going to run into people, and you're going to have to worm your way into either bring them into your group.
Yeah, kill a man.
Well, not necessarily. There's multiple things.
Yeah,
it really depends.
Kill a man.
Well, it kind of depends. What are their strengths? If their weaknesses outweigh their strengths,
if they can't kill me, then I'm like, bitch, on some Goku shit. Be like, all right, join my team.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is, are they a
Like,
doctor?
do some
Are
like
they a
Naruto
dentist?
shit, and they'd be like, "Oh, you a nerd?" I'd be like, "Yes, join me. We will become one." It's just
God.
Naruto hand symbols as he tries to fight me. I'm making Naruto hand symbols as fast as I can.
I'm making out the hand symbols right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I could tell you one of the people that you would not want on your team.
Me. I'm sorry.
Lawyers. You cannot trust a lawyer.
I would secretly. I hate to say it, but it's like a. I feel like Hunter x Hunter made me want a lawyer on my team, and Neil Patrick Harris makes me want to have a lawyer on my team. But also,
I guess it does depend on
Squid
the
Games
lawyer.
makes me not want a lawyer.
Who
in
in
my
Hunter
team.
x Hunter makes you want to?
He's like a businessman, whatever.
Wait, who are you referring to?
What the
Oh, are
fuck
you
is
talking
that?
about
Tall
the
businessman
the?
guy.
Sorry,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, what were you saying?
who are you talking about?
Tall businessman guy. Why can I not remember his name? The only one in a fucking suit and briefcase.
Oh, Leorio.
In the trials. Thank you.
He wants to be a doctor. That's what I was like. What?
I don't care. He looks like a businessman and it makes me giggle.
I was really confused. I was like, what? All right, never mind.
He's always well, it's like he doesn't have any skills, so it's like it's his ability to like persuade people. Sorry.
Fair enough.
I have stupid predispositions in my head.
All right, back to the story.
How do we get to Hunter x Hunter? Okay.
So I guess it really depends on what. If they're just a straight up lawyer and they don't have anything like to offer, kill them.
Jeez.
obviously.
What a monster.
Well, I mean,
I
you
see.
can't
I
have
immediately go
too
with the
many
kill,
people-
and he waits for a lawyer. He has some real shit against some lawyers over here.
What I'm trying to say is, like, you want to make sure that there's a balance, right? Like, do their strength outweigh their weakness, or are they just going to be slowing you down? Do they have nothing to offer? Like soldiers, you're going to want to keep because they can shoot, they know how to scavenge, most likely, and like
You make this
hey,
sound
you
like an
probably have
RPG,
some-
like you're picking out your stats.
Well, I'm just saying, like, just people you might run into. Like, if they don't have any
But also,
quality,
like, I mean, military
of-
type, I feel like wouldn't be with you. They'd be like literally drafted immediately.
not
I
unless
mean, I
they're
guess, like,
one of the
something
only
like-
surviving
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah, it's
there
been
could be
it's been
other
3 weeks,
situations, but-
so
Yeah, that is true. I just feel like, I mean, like, generally, I feel like it's like a faction that you don't want to encounter. It's usually the military. So it's like maybe potentially somebody with that mentality is like, oh, let's go to a military site and get saved, and be like, okay, that could also be a murder machine. I don't know.
So to continue, it really depends on whether or not you're gonna have any like what they have to offer. Like people who are good with farming, you're gonna want to keep because then you can create a renewable food source at some point. But you don't want to keep, like, I'm gonna hate to say this, people are gonna hate me. If they have nothing to offer, kill
What
them.
are you gonna
Children,
say?
kill them.
oh,
No, don't. I'm editing
There's
that.
a reason.
We can't have that
Sure,
on the
you
boob
can.
tube.
In this situation, I mean, don't necessarily pull the trigger yourself, but what I'm saying is
That's why
don't
you
let them
can't-
in your group.
What? He goes, don't kill the children yourself, but let somebody else kill the children.
No, what I'm
for
saying
you.
is don't. I'm not telling you to kill the children by your like. What I'm saying,
Sounds exactly what you're
kill
saying.
the children.
but what I'm saying is don't let them into your group because they're not going to have anything to offer.
You say don't let them into your
No,
home.
don't let
Is that
them
what
into
you
your
said?
group.
let's
If
let
you're
him
gonna
get
have a
past this.
group, don't let
Okay.
them in.
All right, Thomas. It's 6 months
Okay,
later.
sorry.
What's
You-
going
you
on?
got me on. No, I'm killing the children.
I'm already past 6 months. Like you guys said, moving on to the next city and everything.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, he said a
yeah,
year.
you can
Yeah,
stay
he
within
said
a
year.
small area for
Yeah, 'cause
over.
we're moving
6 months.
from.
You know what the
Yeah.
best
All right,
time?
all right. Let me,
is-
I got. You know, you're in control, so I gotta throw a plot. I gotta throw something at you. Lindsay gets bit. What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, because right now you're in
plot
total
twist.
control. You have nothing to lose. I mean, it's kind of boring, actually, if I'm being honest.
Oh man,
Yeah,
well,
it's a
no,
very-
it's not
very
just cliche. It's like he's a
very,
hero of his story, and like nothing
I
can
am
go
not the
wrong.
hero. I never said that I was a hero of my story. I am quite the opposite.
we,
I am
we
a
were,
villain.
yeah, we did say
Okay,
like
anyways.
an optimistic situation. Did you say you're a
I
villain?
would be
You
the
fuck
villain
nut?
of my own story.
Okay, well, okay.
What does
Lindsay
that
gets
mean?
bit.
That
What do you
sounds
do?
so stupid.
Oh, honey, I love you. If you're listening to this, just know that I love you. Do not
jeez.
get upset.
What do you mean? She's clearly gonna listen.
Even I don't listen to this.
She's gonna be. You're gonna come home. You're gonna come home, and she's gonna be sitting in the darkness, and you're gonna turn the light on, and she's gonna have a pistol in her hand, just like.
Oh, I know, right?
gun, just like, how's
So-
your day, hun?
I heard what you said.
Yeah. Zombies, huh?
Well, for
Funny about
me
the
and her have
zombies,
actually already
huh?
talked about this, and we're pretty
Okay,
much on
sorry.
the same page. I'd like to feel.
What? I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. I hate to say this, but when me and Hannah are drunk, we'll have like sprints, literally. Like she'll be like, "I'll race ya," and she's like tiny, so she doesn't understand. And I have big long legs, so I'm just like, fucking like yeet my body on like 3 big leaps, and she's like, "Fuck." And we've discussed that I can run as long and as far as I fucking need. I might be dying like a motherfucker for like 3 days afterwards. But if I need to get the fuck out of a situation, I'm out. And Hannah was just like, I'm gonna die on the corner,
Yes.
aren't I? I was like, it's not, I didn't do that. But I'm just saying that, like, I can't run with you, and you can't keep up with me, so I'm sorry. It's just like, it's fine. I would have killed myself at the first like safe house anyway. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Sorry, relatable situation. Have had this conversation.
So, in regards of Lindsay, My dear sweet Lind. She just opened the door and let the dog go get some water. So she's probably going to hear me say this live anyway. I would time to see how long it would take her to turn.
Oh, jeez. You haven't figured this out?
No, don't put her
In
on
the
the
year?
leash.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you guys both spoke at the same time.
I said you haven't figured this out in the year?
Yeah, that is true. You would know. how
Not
long
necessarily.
it would turn
What?
people at this
Because,
point,
I
for
mean,
sure.
viruses...
I
No,
would
not
say
necessarily. Because
100%.
everything, like, viruses...
You would-
like,
What do you
because-
mean not necessarily.
because
That's
things...
bullshit. I call bullshit.
Okay, look at the current epidemic. Right?
Like, if you don't know how long people are turning, that's just you being
Ignorant.
ignorant to the situation.
Things change depending on the person. Timings will change depending on the person.
Nah, we're talking about classic shit. This shit
So
is like
you're telling me
a few
every
minutes.
person...
We're going off base rules. We're going off
Oh,
base
in that
rules.
case, I would like to think that I would just shoot her in the face.
Because right, Day. Oh my fucking god! Wait, but hold on, back up. Day of the Dead isn't. It's really like not that long. It's only like within the hour, right? It's not like the days.
Right, but I
situation,
mean-
right?
So I'm gonna sound so horrible doing this, but so part of the reason why I would wait to shoot her...
What you already said. You already said you're gonna kill children.
I love that we elected to kill
wife.
ourselves so we don't get canceled.
Yeah, I'm already done. Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. Like,
already out.
I
Like, have a
never
machete
said.
and I'll last
I
as
never
long
said
as
I was.
can,
I
but
kept even
I'm the
saying I
melee
am
guy.
not the hero
I'm a
of my
martyr.
story.
I'm a martyr. Face it.
Why are you the hero? Why
I
do you have
am
to say
not
it
the
like
hero.
That, though? What is,
I
what
am
do you
the
mean? You're
villain
making
of my story.
A totally idealistic situation. Wait, why? Explain to me why you are
Yeah.
the villain of your.
I mean, if you're just trying to survive, does
story,
that make you a villain?
Batman.
The choice.
Are you trying to kill your wife?
No,
so you can
because
be
no matter
Batman?
what
Like,
you
I don't
do,
get it.
you always have a choice.
Batman.
You always have a choice on certain things. For instance, I could have brought those kids into my group,
Yeah.
but I chose to not, and they died. I was a villain in their
Kill
story.
them.
So it's not. It's yeah,
But you keep
No,
saying
you
you're
were-
a villain
you were
in
just-
your own
you were
story.
Like you were.
right. Because I'm choosing all
You
the
just said-
wrong.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Even now, I always feel like I'm the villain of my own story.
Finding
Because
zombies
I
in
always
all
make the wrong choices.
places.
I have all these bad things that are going on in my life, and I don't.
this
feel
is very self-destructive.
heroic. So
yeah.
Yeah, this
We're
got
cutting
very
this
dark.
out.
No,
very quick.
but
I
this
don't
kind
like
of goes into-
conversation. Can I retort?
hold up.
Can I-
Let me
can I
finish.
just-
Let me
I-
finish
there's a
this
bleep
real
here.
quick.
Bleep.
Let me finish this real quick.
Bleep.
This train of thought. That way you realize that it's not
Oh
as bad
my
as it
God.
sounds. So, because of that, as it is now, imagine how much worse and everything will be during the zombie apocalypse. I'm going to be a complete asshole, and my whole entire personality will do a full 180 flip. I'm not going to be the sweet dude that everybody knows.
I'm cutting this out.
What I'm trying to say is you cannot be a friendly-go-lucky person in the zombie apocalypse. You have to make these choices.
I
You
kinda
don't
get
have
what
to
he's
do these
saying.
things. And in my mind, I would not be a hero because of this.
But that's what we're saying. But that's what we're saying in the beginning, though. Like, you can be like a douchebag to others. It's like low key. That's what you have to do. Like, you have to be a douchebag to others, and then like obviously you have the tight knit group, but like you can't just be a dick to everybody. You say that you're a villain in everybody's story, but you're like,
I mean, I think what he's trying
I
to
would
say is
feel
like,
as though I'm the villain.
I think what he's trying to say is everyone is everyone's villain.
I mean,
like,
it's a fucked up
Yeah.
world.
everybody is the
Yeah,
villain. There is no hero in this
see.
situation.
See,
because everyone's kind of looking out for themselves.
No, but I mean, like a zombie apocalypse. We fucking know this though. That's like a
But
one-on-one.
the game of survival is constant betrayal of everyone's trust. Everyone's trust. You cannot trust anybody in the zombie apocalypse.
No, but see, that's where you got me again. Like, I understand, but like, be careful to like. Are you just running this solo? Like, what?
You can never.
I feel like you need to key in, like, be a dick to everybody, but the people you
Exactly.
with-
That's pretty
like-
much how that goes. But you're going to be wanting to be like a sly snake when it comes to everything. You got to make people trust you, even in other groups. That way,
I guess
can
you know.
form
I think
trades
the
and
issue might be
everything.
your wording too.
I wouldn't.
You gotta be a
trust
slime. You gotta be a snake.
I have,
Yeah, that's what's. Yeah, that's
I
what's.
have not been
Yeah, that's
very
what I'm
good
really-
on
they're getting thrown off by as
wording
well.
anything ever. words are not my forte, nor are compute. What is my?
Like you're gonna be that guy who tells like part of the group that you're double crossing them, and then you tell the other group that you're double crossing them.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Like that episode of Always Sunny.
My ideal, if I had the opportunity to, let's say I had the ability to know when the zombie apocalypse was going to happen.
Sure.
I would live in the woods by myself.
And Lindsay.
By myself.
No, he's already shot her in the face.
I would be in the woods.
So okay, in this scenario, you know the apocalypse was coming, and you decide, hey, you know what? I don't want to share this life with you because I know where it might end. So I'd rather live this on my own. So you'd break up with her.
You know, that does sound pretty shitty.
Well, that's
now that you mentioned it. In my mind, she would be.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're like, I want to be the villain, but we're like, what do you?
It's more like. We could talk about this.
Plus, actually, that's a good point, Thomas. Thomas, right now you're making all the decisions on your own, but you have a spouse. Well, you know, what if she doesn't like what?
That's why I keep saying, like, there's a group.
Yeah, you don't think okay? Yeah, let's pause there. You don't think your spouse
shit.
is gonna want to maybe check on her family, see if they're still alive?
Because personally, even too, like I have nobody locally, like family wise, like Hannah would want to see like her.
And
family,
what do you say? What do you just say? No,
because they're local.
It's an eventual thing. Are you telling me that what you would do if, let's say, you moved to? I know you would never do it, but let's say you moved to.
Like, it's already like end day zero.
Right, like. If you're a year, let's say day zero happens.
Okay.
The first thing you should do, and I've already said this, is bunker down.
I agree.
You still have cell phones.
I could agree to that. Yeah, I mean, but to a certain extent, she's eventually going to want to check in on her family.
At some point, you're going to have to come to the realization. Okay, well, do we leave? Do we go there? Because if we leave and we go there, we're stuck on a highway. We're stuck on a highway because everybody's going to want to be getting out of cities or going into cities.
No, I would definitely, especially in Denver, I would have to start hiking. I would have to
we would have to, yeah, exactly.
Like, get a backpack and start just like literally.
Unless, of course, we knew how to ride motorcycles or something. I know how to ride this.
Okay,
now. No,
yeah, but what about like the whole scenario where like kids? No, you think your spouse would be on board with that?
Oh yeah, she would freak the fuck out.
You think your wife would accept the cold? Yeah,
a split in the party. That's where you would be the old man in the woods
I
by
think
yourself.
I could talk her, reason with her, and explain the reasonings. Because I mean, number one, like she understands kids right now at the same point that I do when it comes to our dog, because our dog is not okay with kids. So we're trying to teach it to be fine. But here's the thing, right? Like, kids are incredibly unpredictable. They're loud, and they don't listen to you.
Yeah, I mean,
they're zombie attractors.
Unless you have a good kid. You definitely generalize kids, but yeah.
They're zombie attractors. Because something will happen at the worst possible time.
So then you keep them, and then you sack them. What do you mean?
No, you don't let them in your group.
Fuck, you don't need a pipe bomb, just a tiny child.
That's more villainous than any of the things I said all time, the entire time.
I couldn't help myself, I'm sorry.
I'm just going and saying, like, I'm pretty sure she would understand the reasoning behind my thing, my reasoning behind my decision on that.
I'm gonna call Lindsay.
Yeah, she's asleep.
And then I'm gonna.
She is asleep.
Yeah.
I want her opinion.
Just her be like, fucking no.
She literally came out a little for like 30 seconds to let the dog get some water, and then she went back to bed. So.
What she gotta do tomorrow? You wake her up.
That's rude.
No, don't actually do that. Please don't.
Yeah, she would be mad at me.
And because then I'll get in trouble. It would be.
She'd be mad at me. Well, she wouldn't be mad, but she'd be a little.
I'd be fucking pissed. You want me to come out here and fucking say fucking what on your fucking little whatsy talk show? I'm sorry. I'm a dad.
No, you're not.
I'm not a dad.
I'm the only dad among you.
which is funny.
I'm a teacher. I like children, but
I understand why Pete's getting defensive about the children, because he has children, and I already know like he's gonna be like, oh, they're coming with me. Like, I get it. If they're your kids,
I mean, it's just the lawful. You're just like,
well,
nah,
here comes the question, Pete. I got a question for Pete.
Jesus.
I got a question for you, Pete. You said that your way out would you just let it happen? You just kill yourself, essentially.
Yep.
What about your wife? What about your kids?
I would definitely like last out as long as I could. Damn.
How would your life? How would your wife?
No,
Yeah,
it'd be called group suicide.
Yeah, it would ultimately be
that.
Like if I
your
I don't
wife
want my
would be
daughter to
okay
live
with
in a
you
world
guys killing.
where I wouldn't want my daughter to live in a world where she has to like. Yeah, that's no life.
fucked.
That's not living.
I mean, it's just going back to primal, to be completely honest with you. But that's also like,
I was gonna say that's probably the one thing I would look forward to the most
I'm sorry, what?
is not having all this technology.
Oh,
'Cause
come
I'm
on!
not very computer savvy.
J-
Sure, I would
Jude-
miss video games.
I kn- yeah,
Sure,
this
I
is
would miss my cell
bullshit.
phone. Sure, I'd miss music.
you wouldn't be able to play the new DLC. On
Sure,
You
that'd
wouldn't
be
be able to watch
sad.
Markiplier.
That would be
So
horribly.
close, but so
you
far,
know,
Ed.
you're right. But
You're like, first goal, find Markiplier. Force him.
he
to
actually talked
zombie.
about this. I think he
Talk
talked about
to
this on
me.
his podcast actually. But like, he was like, "Yeah, I don't think I would last a day." He's like, "I wouldn't be the leader of the group. I would like be the one guy that they're like, yo, you used to be cool. Go shovel shit."
Okay.
But
Sorry,
but yeah, like, I don't know, like it would bring humanity back down a lot for sure, but this is gonna sound very
obviously.
bad.
Oh, no.
I'm actually hoping zombies happen.
You've already killed children and killed your wife. What the fuck else what worse thing can you say?
Okay, you guys made it so that she got bit.
Are you gonna say something
you
worse?
made
I
it so
don't
that
like
she
this.
got bit, not me.
Yeah, and I told you what I would do.
I didn't. I did
Nothing crazy.
I did
Yeah.
nothing here.
You said nothing crazy. So what? You would just let her turn. So
just group
if you were in
suicide.
my shoes, Pete, and you didn't do suicide, right? And Michelle got bit, would you kill her? Or would you be like, oh, I'm gonna lock her in a room and hope that nobody
of
opens
course-
the
of
door and gets eaten by her?
No, of course. I think I would have to, but
Nah, bro. You go Tina style and have some nasty ass zombie sex, and then you both turn into zombies.
That would.
Just like as she's going out, just be like, ah.
It's kind of that's kind of
I'm
like the
zombieing
opposite
too,
of how that phrase goes. Like
That's not
to go out with a not with a bang but with a whimper. In this case, you would go out with a
Whoa.
bang and not with a whimper.
Derek, what would you
With
do?
a-
Like, let's say you didn't offer self.
Realistically, this is not to throw the low key, high key brag, but I actually have done a lot of sword training in my life. With like, I did karate, I did jujitsu growing up. So I have also, I hate to say this, I am very good at LARPing. And this is really like awkward. I don't really like LARP or anything, but it was like fun during college when somebody that is like an avid LARPer. This is gonna sound so fucking nerdy. Please don't hate me for this. I am like very proficient with 2 swords.
Proficient
Nothing wrong.
in cutting
It
what?
sounds so nerdy.
Because you're not
No, like actual
with that.
combat.
Ooh.
Like physically, like I used to spar a homie, and we would like fuck around and like do like 2 swords because I was just a goddamn nerd, and then I got good at it, and I was like, okay, this is like the nerdiest thing that I will ever have a use of. But it's literally if you have your front sword back, and you're like, so I'm ambidextrous as well, especially when it comes to stances and like using my hands. So first off, like I said, I have a bayonet and a sai. So you have the front hand, whatever is facing whatever your combat enemy, with the sai backhanded, because the hilt of it is very fucking heavy. So you can kind of use it more of like a melee, and then your left is more for like prying away. If something is attacking you, you use it more of like a shield and defense, and then you can backhand or whatever the sword, stab, whatever the sword. Okay, this is getting too complicated. But I'm quite efficient with 2 weapons. So I have 2 weapons in my home. So at the very base, I have starter weapons.
I mean, that's technically more than what I have.
My thing is, we actually have a lot of books, and Hannah would hate me on this statement, but I would wrap my arms with like a bunch of just tape and like heavy bindings, just because you like want some sort of like guard at least on your like legs and arms, because that is immediately the first place you get bit, because every fucking zombie movie ever. And where we are currently, which is kind of convenient, we're like kind of perched top floor, so we can kind of see down on what's going on. But it's more of I would definitely not.
I was gonna say, what happens if your building catches fire?
Just literally look towards the mountains and just head that way. And I know a lot of people would be going that way, but it's like a lot of people would die very quick. Denver is full. No pros and cons. If there was somebody that was alive in a zombie apocalypse, I would have to say it's either complete douchebag or somebody that's actually like very proficient in what they're, I don't know, whatever the fuck is going on. Like some dude with a fucking truck and some shotguns in the back, I'm down with him. Like, we'll be homies for a little bit. But like, yeah, I wouldn't even know. Really just like get to the mountains and like find something, even really just like heading to water, really. And that's like a trek, but at least the mountains would be less ridden with zombies than the city would be. But you definitely want to get the fuck out of a landlocked state. Because I feel like heading south would be even worse, because everybody's literally like...
I'm like 15 minutes, 10 minutes away from the beach, so I'll be fine.
Yeah, but then what would you do at the beach, though? You just make a little floating island, or like take a boat out? Because I
take a boat out.
My option as well.
Because I know how to use a boat. You know, you just paddle.
Oh, I see.
But would you just live off fish all the time? Like, you need to stop and get supplies.
You could. You have the opportunity to. All you got to do is just ride up and down the coast.
No, I would just sell that boat to Hawaii, and you know.
I feel like that wouldn't.
Well, you don't think Hawaii's got zombies?
I don't know, because like we haven't talked about the spread either, because there's also like the whole immediate conversation that like a lot of the base like video game or movies start off with like an airport terminal or something, like spreading the disease or spreading whatever the virus is. So it's like I think it's like one of the Resident Evil movies, right? It's just like an airport was like where it's released, and just like everybody spreading to every corner of the world, like. So it's like no matter what you're fucking doing, it's just like, oh, we're fucked, everybody's fucked. But like that's what I'm saying, like, are we going off that, or are we just going off centralized like 21 days like later, that it's like that shit just happened right where you are specifically at this moment?
I think it kind of just happens everywhere.
That's kind of what my thoughts would be.
Well, I think it really depends as well, because I think I'm looking it up right now. I want to say like I'm sure it's either New Zealand or Australia that's probably got the lowest rates of COVID right now.
Yeah, because they're not stubborn fucking
so it's like
Americans.
If we could go yeah. Apparently the Cook Islands, Niue and Tokelau in Turkmenistan. I mean, I don't know if that's just because they're not recording it or whatever, but like even Macau, that one has Macau, yeah, that one has 79 cases. So it's like, well, shit. All right, maybe go to Macau, because
check it tomorrow.
Because apparently,
it's really down to the question too of like, I know we talked about zombie apocalypse, but it's what the fuck is this terrible manga that I Dr. Stone. I hate this manga, and I understand shonen.
What?
Yeah, but I
Don't
hate
people
it.
love it?
It's just like, look, I made a thing. Next episode, look, I also made a thing. Like, oh, you made a light bulb in a short circuit. Good job. Look, I built a base water wheel. Okay. Science. He has like a key phrase. And I hate it. I can't remember what it is though. I feel like I've just blacked it out of my memory because it was honestly kind of annoying. I read the manga and I've never like complained about a manga, but like I just kept like reading it and I kept to Hannah being like, what the fuck is? Do you read? Can you see this? Can you read these 3 pages? What the fuck is happening? Like, are you fucking serious? Like, but it's just like the
Okay, now
I
I
was
think
say like, but like
go
it's
ahead.
all about like the knowledge of like what do you know to like rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people actually understand how to make a fucking fire without like a fire starter?
Oh man, I think I've had this conversation with some friends before. Like, yeah, like, oh, it's like the whole like idea of like, you know, you go back to the past, right? And you think you'd be a genius because you know
You have
all these
no
things
idea how
in the
that shit
future,
works.
but you don't know jack about how to
Oh,
make
just make
them,
a
what to do, you know
sundial
how
and
it
watch,
works,
and you're
how
like,
it's made.
Brah, do you even understand
Yeah, exactly.
what you're saying?
Like, yeah, let me introduce you to the concept of a watch. Oh wait, I don't know how to build a watch. I don't know how to make a watch. I don't know, you know, stuff like that. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
that's why like even mine is like super simple because I hate to say it, but like a lot of my knowledge would not be very useful in zombie apocalypse. But like, I can draw you a pretty picture. Like, I'd be good at like topography, like drawing a map for myself or something of the sort. But like,
are you good with like directionally
I'm very
like that, though?
How do I say this? But from playing a lot of video games, I'm very
I'm directionally
I'm very not
challenged.
directionally challenged. Especially, I hate to say this, but like basic Boy Scouts. And just like wandering in the woods a lot, you're just like, oh, what time is it? And you're like, oh, it's in the summer, so
Hey, man,
like, so
I
like,
even have trouble
know,
tying
like,
knots.
Well, generally,
so.
like base science too. It's like, do you know like the angle of like the arc of like the summer to winter solstice? Like, if the sun is a little bit higher in the sky, you might think it's noon, but it's in the summer, so it's really like a few hours later than what you would expect. Just stupid shit like that. Does that sound stupid? That sounds stupid.
No.
But like, just, I mean, even like just knowing sun rises in the east, sets in the west, like, don't travel at night because of the fact, unless you know your star constellations at least a little bit. Like, clearly, like, big bright star is North Star. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to go like off of a lot of your primal, just basic instincts for a lot of things, and I feel like a lot of people don't have that, and I definitely do. But it's about how I can implicate a lot of things, like, well, it's like
look
the
at
same
you,
thing as,
Mr.
like,
Smarty
naked and
Pants.
afraid kind of shit. Like, I'm like, oh, that motherfucker, stupid.
I was at the gym once and they had that on TV. I was like, why is this in front of the treadmill?
Oh my fucking god.
You mean you don't want to see somebody's blurry schlong sit in front of you as you run around?
Okay, but it's
Not
about
these
the stupid
people.
things. Like, everybody's like, oh, like, they're not gonna hit themselves. Like, I would never hit myself with a machete if I was on the show. And then like, people go on the show that are like saying that hit themselves with a machete, and you're like, dude, god damn it. Like, you always say that you won't do that kind of shit, but like, in a situation, like, how are you really gonna respond? Like, I'm good with like knives and shit, but it's also, how good am I going to be about setting a hut up? Like, I don't even, like, I kind of base know, and I definitely am a quick learner and can definitely, like, figure something out. But, like, have your shit off the ground.
Think of the
but,
fear
like,
that's going, the
what
fear
I'm saying,
and the
like,
adrenaline
but
that's
how
going
would
through
I
your,
even be able to deal
through
with
you,
the
though,
situation?
too.
Just the existential, like, crisis of just being like, well, everything is fucked. Like, nothing matters.
Yeah, nothing will
literally,
ever
you
be
can
normal
easily leave
again.
everything
Yeah.
behind because, like, nothing matters. Like, yeah, because that's where I would be, in my personal opinion. Like, even if I were to just say, like, I'm just gonna grab some sharp things and head out to the mountains, like, how fucking idiotic is that really in retrospect? When you need food, like you're still gonna have to make stops. You're gonna have to like find ways to get food. If not, like you don't have time to just like cook food and leave. Like you have to get food and leave. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get whatever.
I was gonna say, so if you got to pick any zombie universe, any media with zombies, what universe would you pick?
Oh boy, that's a good
If
question.
a different situation were to be had, if I like say, because it's like generically
really
you
good
want
question.
like, I don't want to say it like this, but like I want like a gun and a melee weapon.
Well, generically, like to me, like ideally, I'd want to live in a world or in a universe where I know there's a cure.
Yeah.
Or where there is, medication for it. That's my first priority when I think of like a universe where there is,
I'm thinking
an
about
outbreak.
like what the outbreak would be.
Yeah, so like
I feel like because
that too.
Because like I immediately am thinking of just it would be fun to be in Left 4 Dead, but I'd rather fucking just like it's like I love zombie games and shit like that. But it's always like if I'm alive, is it because I can't be infected? Do you see what I'm saying? Or because that's a whole different situation.
Yeah, I think in Left 4 Dead, all of our characters are just carriers, right?
I believe so.
Immune, and that's why they keep
I might be
passing
mixing
it
it
on.
up with. There's also a game called Dead Nation that like the main characters are just immune. And they're like, I don't know why, but they're like badasses.
I'm pretty sure it was Left 4 Dead where our characters are just carriers, but they're immune to to it itself, and that's why they keep passing it on. Everyone around them keeps getting infected because they're passing it on.
Okay.
But I was thinking, just because I haven't really played the games, but I do know that there's a vaccine in them. Dead Rising.
Honestly, I completely voided that from my mind, but that would be the most fun because they're just so brain dead and like pliable, I guess I should say. Because you're just like, oh, I'm bored. Like nobody else is fucking here. I'm just gonna get in a car and do donuts. Like I agree with you. Like I would do so many. I agree with that. Actually, that would be the universe I would like to be in because it's like they're the most non-aggressive zombies.
And again, there's medication for it. But I haven't, like I said, since I haven't played the game,
so it's a certain time.
I don't.
So it's like you would be like, oh, I would love to like fuck around for like I think it's like 7 days. I might be wrong. It might be like 20, I don't even fucking remember. It's been a very long time.
I think it is 7 days.
Makes me think of just generic horror things, but because it's like promising like you have a way out is more of the thing. So it's like, oh, like I wouldn't say I'm in a game situation, but like you're in a situation that you're like, oh, I can save people and fuck around and do donuts and kill zombies. Heard. I put like.
Done. And make slushies.
But like, and then on the other side, like one thing that I would super hate is to be in, so if you've
Last of Us.
No, Last of Us 2.
Oh God,
my man's. I just cried a little bit inside.
No, but think about it. Like those transformations are brutal, and those people, I think they still feel that stuff, right?
I mean, I guess it's more of a slow fungus.
Here's the question: is that technically a zombie? Yeah, I was gonna say, is that technically
it's still zombie
zombification?
It's just a method of.
Yeah. But Thomas, do you have a preferred zombie universe?
I was about to say, what would be
you were forced to participate in one?
Universe, honestly,
the worst universe is World War Z.
Okay, you keep saying that, but you're not wrong. I'm trying to think of like, because there's so many zombie games too that like I was saying like we were saying too like, actually Resident Evil would be fucking overkill. I would fucking just rage quit, Alt F4, uninstall from life. Like I said, if I saw like 4 fucking liquors on the ground, or even like some Dead Space shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, be like, no.
Oh, dude,
I'm done.
Dead Space. Okay, like no, legit. Dead Space was like one of the first games that actually did.
Yo,
give me,
I don't
like,
really.
the
I'm not gonna lie. Zombies don't really
Jeez.
fuck with me, like get to me on that level. But that shit fucked with me.
You go back to RE1 or not,
Yeah,
like
a little bit
RE2,
more
like
realistic. Honestly, even I have to say,
Yeah,
I don't want to say Silent Hill 1 because it was trash, but it was fun playing it. But I think it was Silent Hill 2 that introduced Pyramid Head. It might be 3. But like, the same thing with like
never played it,
Outlast. When you get
unfortunately.
like, this is getting a little bit out, but like when you just get chased by a big motherfucking thing, it's like if you had to deal with a tank in real life or like a boomer, like, no.
Well,
like
I think you and I
Nemesis.
talked about this in the past. Like, I think we were talking about Resident Evil 7 and just how scary
Oh,
the Baker
yeah.
family was.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
the dad, just because
It's an intimidating force.
I mean, well, and he's like he's your size, right? Yeah, he's kind of like
but
superhuman,
he
like,
just
or so it
broad
seems.
shoulders. He's,
But
like, he's not
he
that
sh-
much. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. He's not that much bigger, but it's just intimidating.
and you have nothing to defend yourself with. Yeah, it's just so scary. He's the scary.
I'm like,
he's the scariest
literally
part
just
of the
give me a
entire game, and
stick.
after
I
that, the
just
scare
want
factor goes down.
something.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But like, I don't know why I keep thinking about this, and I know that's not connected in any way, shape, or form. But like, I keep thinking of like worst zombie situation would be like Jeepers Creepers, and I don't know why I keep thinking about him.
Yeah, I don't know why you're thinking about him either. It's been a long time, and I don't even remember the plot of that movie. But
Like ancient being. No, I know.
He's
That's
also
what
not
I'm
a
saying.
zombie.
I'm thinking about like a flesh being, like a flesh. How do I say, like a flesh walker? Somebody that just like is like a cannibalistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be more like a ghoul.
Yeah, you're right. You're very right about that. But like that's even like the question too, like because that's like the zombie of Fallout too. You know what I'm saying? Like how are we? How would you feel
The
about
ghouls?
that situation? Like because that's like some could be like. Yeah, and some
Feral?
could be like you could still talk to a dude and you're like, don't kill me, and be like, you motherfucker, shut up. You're like, oh hi, nice one.
I was about to say at that point, well, like you've kind of lived with it for now, but that's not necessarily true, especially if you're coming out of a vault.
Yeah.
Can you imagine coming out of a
wouldn't
vault
even know what to do with my
and
life.
the first human you see is
I would poop. Ghouls?
what are they called again? Yeah, well, the first thing you
poop
see is a ghoul.
I wouldn't.
I don't want to live in
That
this
reminds me
world.
of Fallout 3 when if you choose to bomb Megaton.
Oh yeah,
And you go back to the town, and some of the people there are still alive, just with no skin, as
chick
ghouls.
that you're doing a wasteland survival guide.
Girl?
Yeah. We'll be like, oh hi. You're like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, hi. My bad.
What happened?
I didn't mean to do that, but I did.
So you guys are talking just apocalypses in general.
At this point, yeah,
Right.
we've degraded to that.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing: is there's so many different types of different apocalypses. Where we
Actually, it's so funny because wasn't that
Zombies.
That was your topic originally, right? Just apocalypse.
We're not really straying from any topics. It's more of how would you react to certain situations, kind of thing.
I don't know how we got so tied to zombies. That's so funny.
because that's the
Because that's
the
what I was saying.
primary-
Like, I was saying when I started off, I was like, it can be one of two things though, like zombie or non-zombie. Well, pigeon.
I'll tell you what. Once I get past this, I live through it all. Once everything comes back up, everything civilization's back to normal, and you guys are gone. I'll just make a tribute thing, and then I'll keep going. I'll find two new people, and we'll keep it going.
Or
Do you-
be the
We'll keep the
post-
dream alive.
Do you want me to tell you
podcast.
where you need to go?
Sure.
You need to go to the Cook Islands.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they have a very low population, and only 1% of and only one person on that island caught COVID.
How would you
so
get there? Okay, we're getting deep into this again. Okay.
by boat, you'd get there by boat. It's pretty much the only way you would get there.
What makes you think their government wouldn't
facts.
shut their ports down and turn you away?
You're on a
water
boat.
access.
Like,
Okay,
who needs
okay.
a port?
How long has this been going on? What are we doing with our lives? I've just been staring at a screen.
I don't know,
Like,
Oh, okay. That was a fun episode, guys. If you guys like this episode and would like to hear
Ed, what
more,
the fuck?
come join the herd. Can you-
POS?
Can you really not hear me?
Did you mute your mic?
No.
Did you disconnect your mic?
No.
Did you leave?
No, obviously.
Did you die?
Oh,
Stop
guys.
audio.
Can you guys really not hear me? If you guys like the episode and want to hear more, come join the herd by following us wherever you stream podcasts. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
I got a message from him. Can you guys really not hear me? Okay, good. Yes, we really can't.